Yeah, I would say probably chainsaw injuries would be the most common thing. So a lot of people who have bad habits,
Yes.
and one-handing a chainsaw is probably the worst habit that you can have.
Leaning out.
Leaning out over your head with one hand on a
Yeah.
chainsaw is
Literally.
that is the worst,
It's horrible.
the number one worst habit, because a lot of accidents can happen
And then there's kickback.
because of
Yeah.
things like kickbacks. You have less control with one hand. So holding two hands prevents a lot of those accidents. Yeah, that's probably the most.
I have to go in 5 minutes. Do you want to vote to accept the minutes from the last meeting while we're?
Do we not have a quorum without you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
How many members do we have?
You don't,
You're not a voting member.
I'm the secretary, acting secretary.
okay.
I mean,
That meant that you were a voting member.
The secretary.
15 of us, we have to have,
we don't even have a quorum.
We
then.
don't even have more.
Yeah,
it has to be 8.
so can we even start our meeting?
I don't think so, because we have to vote to.
Guess we can't do one big thing. We can discuss it,
Well,
but we
I'm still
can't.
have to watch the video first.
Yeah, I like.
I can only do.
What's your-
Yeah, without a quorum.
Chester?
Exactly. That is,
Is there anybody online that would help with the quorum?
I can't post anything online, and you can't be online, you have to be present.
So we may, after this meeting, we may
We
just
need to
post
discuss how
saying,
many.
hey, people have got to come. And, Patrick and I don't know if I'll say this since we're not officially having a meeting. We're gonna meet with 2 commissioners and some people that own the piece of property that's between what's going on across the street and Barnett Shoals. And they want to have canopy questions. And Carol Myers, I have put in her ear that we need a commissioner representative.
Okay.
And she expressed interest, but I haven't really pinned her down yet. So we're gonna.
She's
put
come
more
to events
pressure.
before, so
Yeah.
I think,
She would be great.
Yeah.
And she stays.
She's retired, isn't she?
She's retired, but she's mayor pro tem, and she's on a lot of committees. But if we can get her, she would be. Yeah. So if that's okay if we keep pushing her, because I feel like our current commissioner checked out a while ago. We could use some representation.
definitely, that would be helpful.
So I think we discussed that at the last meeting, that y'all would really rather have someone who wants to do it than someone that is told.
right.
Yes.
And I do think initially Russell did want to do it, but then it
Correct.
didn't turn out to be what he was thinking. But honestly, everything in his commission life changed after they redistricted, so his focus went elsewhere. But I'll take someone who'll just come to the meetings,
Yeah, well, you have to have 8 present per quorum.
right?
Does Eric count towards the quorum?
No.
No.
No. The only reason
You
I,
gotta dial Eric back in too. It's so great to have.
yeah, because
We need to fill out a form, but I guess it doesn't matter if we don't have a quorum, we don't have a meeting.
Now, this is all unofficial.
we can discuss it, we just can't make anything final.
That's true.
Well.
We don't usually have a regular business meeting in December
No,
because we usually have a Christmas
but
party.
I'm almost inclined to say, since we're not having this meeting, that we should have a meeting and a Christmas party.
You have to pull your emergency meeting card.
Mhm.
I mean,
I feel like she's not.
Yeah, you're gonna pull your card?
Hard, yeah. Can we?
My commission or whatever ends in December. Does yours too?
I think so.
I told him I'd do it one more term,
Yeah, it's a calendar year thing.
but it has to be voted on and sent to the,
Yes.
Okay, so then we have to have.
I mean, yeah, at every level there's paperwork.
Would you guys prefer, unofficially, would you prefer to have this meeting on the same day as as the Christmas party?
The only thing with the Christmas party is the meeting has to be televised.
We could have it televised from Mary Attaway's living
But
room.
then it has to be publicly accessible.
do Facebook Live.
Well, I mean, I can hook it up so it can be taken care of, but I just want to make sure that she's okay with that.
We could have a highly efficient meeting where we just discuss, like, we have very clear
End
goals,
of year.
end of year wrap up, and
Mhm.
then from there we have the party.
No business other than items to be voted upon, or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
And,
Then we go in.
If you send us a list ahead of time of what we're voting on. so that
yeah,
we
an
can-
agenda that's enough time so that we can actually be ready to vote. So, yeah, that would be, otherwise I would suggest a separate meeting if it's one that's gonna require discussion and
I just know commitments in December.
December's tough.
very
Yeah.
tough. So I think that limiting the number of engagements would probably be wise. So I'm gonna unofficially suggest that we have it
Okay.
at the same time and just make it very brief. And just for things that, like official business that we have to.
That having been said, we've in the recent past, we've gone with the same date as when our meeting would be, which is the second Monday, correct? That would be the 12th.
Right. And I would say let's go ahead and have it then and
And then
maybe
it's still early to, I'll put it till push back.
just like maybe from 4 till 5 so that
Yes.
if we have spouses that.
Push it from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, okay.
So
4 to
that we
5
get
meeting?
make the meeting and get that out of the way and then
Or have a meeting at 5 and then have a party.
on site, yes.
So, you know, whatever goes over.
We'll keep you in the loop.
Appreciate it. If you can come retrieve me, if we end up with quorum, come retrieve me and I'll come in and say yes.
Hey,
I did read the minutes, I'm looking to you.
Because, Holly's probably gonna be running late, so she still might be here.
thank you, Mary.
Yeah.
I'm sending you a fruitcake for that re-upping.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
Me too.
It's one of my favorite
I
holidays.
shouldn't have said that.
yeah.
My dad loves fruit cake. The only person I've ever met that likes fruit cake.
Fruits
My
and
mom.
cakes, but not together.
Um,
Well,
Used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of.
Okay, so what I'll have to do then is for that meeting, whatever the voting topics, I'll just have to have those ahead of time and I'll post them with
Okay.
the minutes, the agenda, have that all posted for public viewing, and then they can be voted on at that time.
I'll make sure to have the agenda to you well before.
It's okay.
And, I did just, a brief update. I didn't make it to the meeting with Maureen O'Brien at Gaines Elementary, for various scheduling reasons, because it kept getting pushed back. But she did send me an update. She did meet with, the person who is in charge of the gardens over there, and, the trees that we planted for the grant, the, Bacon Shade Grant at Gaines, which was one of the first ones in Athens to be completed, are doing really well. There's a couple that need to be replaced, but they are in desperate need of mulch. And so she asked if we could do MLK Day or Arbor Day out there. And I told her that we had, in the last meeting, already made plans for those dates. However, if we wanted to have another work day, that would be something to consider. And so I told her I'd bring it to the commission to think about, or we could split up for MLK Day. And, some of us do the Firefly Trail planting, which I submitted the application for a site for the official MLK Day. I did that last week. So hopefully they'll approve that. I haven't gotten notice yet, but it's too late to submit for the official MLK Day committee, the Keep Athens-Clarke County Beautiful MLK Day event. But, if we wanted to split up and have multiple groups, we could do
Just
that.
gonna do that. I did hear back from Leisure Services on that planting, and the first choice that you had, not the one at the concrete entry, but the second one that we talked about, that is approved, that we can do planting there. And he said if we needed another location, that we are more than welcome. There is a seating area that is closer down to the stoplight.
That's a great idea. That
There's
might
another
even be
spot.
better.
He had actually Leisure Services reached out through SPLOST to landscape management last winter, but because of staffing, COVID, et cetera, we weren't able to do it, and it is on the books to be done, so that is another option for those two areas.
Okay.
Both or one or the other, whichever.
I wasn't here at the last meeting and I apologize for that.
That was a whole
I tried to do the
technical issue.
virtual thing,
It was-
but
Yeah.
where are these locations? Can you,
They're on Winterville Road, so the Firefly Trail, is if you're going down Lexington and you turn left on Winterville Road,
Right.
it's on the right-hand side of the road and follows down to just at the Public Works office. So,
Okay.
and they're continuing, but that's where they've gotten to so far. And where she's talking about is right at the corner of Winterville Road, where if you go straight, it turns into Spring Valley, but if you turn right, it stays Winterville Road. And there's a little seating area right there on the Firefly
Very
Trail.
close to the quarry and
Yes,
all of that.
yes,
Pretty good
exactly.
spot.
Or all the options in that same,
They're all
pretty
within
close.
half a mile of each other.
So there was, you said that seating area, and where was the other area down there?
The other area was, a little bit further, like closer to Lexington.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's not really a distinguishing characteristic of it, but it's just a little bit further down.
Mhm.
But I think that would be really nice for that seating area. I
I
think
think so, yeah.
I think that's
Same one is, yeah.
best option, for that. So hopefully that will get approved by the official MLK. And then if for some reason that doesn't work out, we can have the gains as a backup plan.
Have we talked about?
I don't know, like, how far off the trail, like either direction, like when we put the trees, do you,
She may be able to answer that, but
Here.
it looks like on the left side, how close to the,
Nearest.
because they require you like 35 feet from the power pole to the large trees. I don't know if we have room on there, you think, to put the large trees from the power pole, or?
Just before.
I would be happy to walk out there with you, Patrick. My office is right there.
Okay, I'm just curious, I'm looking at it, it looks like, because we could put small trees, like just looking at them on there. We can put small trees on behind it and large trees across it, maybe, because I don't know, do you guys 35 feet, what you require for like the overhead clearance from power lines to the, 25,
20 feet either
20
side
feet
of.
either side?
Yes.
Mhm. Okay, looks like it'd be far enough away to get some large trees.
And I think we voted on 5 or 6 trees,
Correct.
Mhm.
to be planted
Mhm.
on
Yeah, that's
MLK
fine.
Day. I would love to, and, this is something we could potentially vote on. I would, next meeting, I would also love to include a plaque of some sort in our planting, because, I will ride my bike past some of the other trees that we planted along the Firefly Trail, as Arbor Day. I remember 1 or 2 of them. And I'm like, oh, I have to plant those trees, and that's exciting. They're doing really well, but there's no indication that that was planted for Arbor Day, in what year. And so I think that, next meeting, we should vote to use some of our funds to put a plaque so that we can get recognition for the hard work that we put in.
And I'll double check with the services.
Maybe we get donations. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if people actually can see that, like, we are doing these things, then they might be more likely to give money to us, so. And that is part of our, Trees for Tomorrow commitment too, so.
Right,
Um,
the Firefly planting, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that was all of the updates that I had. Patrick, did you want to update us on the kind of the progress that you and Mary have been achieving?
We haven't really had anything since our last meeting.
Okay.
We had to meet last month, so we didn't have any. What about, the, creature comforts? Any updates?
So I don't have any updates and Sarah's not here. I will hopefully, have another meeting with Sarah and Mary and,
Sean?
Dawn.
We have to run a good
We don't have the chair. Have a seat. That's your problem.
All in favor of adjourning?
So I guess I. No, we've already talked about all the things that I talked about. So, has everybody had a chance to meeting? To accept the meetings from
Yeah.
Second.
you, all in favor? Don't have this Sean, you missed your video. That I
You probably have seen it.
It's okay, we're gonna post it online with the minutes for the machines.
Y'all did a great job with that video.
Yeah.
Thank
So you use the GoPro, then you use like an iPhone too, or what was your other?
Yeah, just iPhone. I had my camera out there too, but I just ended up using the footage from my phone because it was easier.
No, it was like supposed to be my video that you guys did the.
Maybe like a voice
It's mostly Joe Ashley just sounding kind of bored,
Yeah, I appreciate you doing it.
but he did it.
Professionally done is like how the voiceover and everything.
Nice. So Sean, we've decided, well, unofficially decided, I guess we can vote
We can,
now.
yeah, we can
vote
vote
now.
grab Mary to,
Well,
How about we save all the voting items until the very end?
that's fine,
Call
just
for
grab
it.
Mary at one time, yeah.
Just to give you an update though, we decided that the holiday party, we're going to, well, I guess we don't necessarily have to go to the holiday party if we can vote now.
If we can vote now, we're fine. But if there's any topics that do needed to be finalized, we can
Okay.
carry those over and just post them ahead of time.
We're gonna have the holiday party at Mary Attaway's house on the same date as our meeting. And we're gonna hold a kind of abbreviated meeting, before the actual party. Because we weren't able to vote, but now we have forum, so we can vote.
We can just park.
So we can just party.
so does, Athens pick up the trees for the planting on the MLK?
I think in the past they
We
have,
have.
yeah, and they also dig the holes.
We did the whole.
I'm gonna talk to Topo to provide the mulch for it, and it should be very easy since it's just right there. And so the volunteers will mostly just be putting the trees in the hole and then spreading mulch. And I put on there like 20 volunteers max. We don't really need it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then, and the treasurer's report that you sent over today.
Yeah, I sent it over. The only change is 17 cents of interest on the money market. I was hoping we'd get some donations, but we're not really pushing that anywhere, so,
I would buy acorn for that price.
yeah.
So we do, need to,
We need to approve it.
Which one?
minutes.
Approve the treasurer's report. Some of my groups do and some
Yeah,
don't.
October stuff.
The agenda?
Yeah, again, do we have?
Oh, I don't think we have it printed out.
Okay, got it. I'll go.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Do we need to vote to approve the treasurer's? report?
We can do that.
I mean, I don't know if we do or not, but
I think we do, but we usually do vote to
Yeah.
approve it, but I don't think we have.
we have to have Mary vote at the end, then I guess, right?
Yeah.
So Mary has agreed to stay on, which means that, and the two of you have also agreed graciously, so that means we do not have a vacancy.
No vacancies. Thank y'all.
Well, I mean, it would be nice to get new people on, but
It would be.
But I think that we can all agree that recruiting right now is not really where we want to put her.
you know,
That's fantastic. I'm excited about, Trees for Tomorrow, putting forth some effort to meet our
our obligations.
obligations there. Sean, you also missed, I talked to Maureen O'Brien, who met at Gaines.
Yeah.
And checked out the trees that we planted there. They're doing well. They need mulch. It's a backup idea for Arbor Day. I mean, not for Arbor Day, for Arbor Day or MLK Day. And we could have a second location for MLK Day if we chose to.
Even if we don't do it, for MLK, if we could make arrangements and there's a place where it would be okay for the mulch to be put, if we have a donor for mulch, then we could have an unofficial I mean, it doesn't usually take that long. How many trees are we talking about?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she said, no more than, I mean, how many did we plant at Timothy on making
I
this?
think it's like 40 or something.
Yeah, so no more than 40.
Okay, well, that's a good many. That's more than I imagined.
Yeah, and I think she said that 2 of them had died, which is pretty good.
Very good. 30 and 40.
Given the-
Yeah.
Which is about the same as Timothy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What size were they? We planted them?
3 inches?
3 inch. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty good.
And, from memory though, like they're all together though, right? Like those
They're-
trees.
They're pretty close together, yeah.
That's it.
Gaines.
Is that right? The ones that didn't, oh, just all of them together.
Yeah, they're all within their like playground area, so I
okay.
think there's as many at Gaines as Timothy, but I could be wrong, because I think we had a larger planting space.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago, it was probably like
That's like 40 trees.
Yeah. Yeah, like gang.
the Gaines one,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is that the limiting factor is probably having the mulch on site and on hand. So if we could do that, we could have as many or as few people show up for just a CTC field day on the.
Yeah, I mean, she mentioned Topo, like, the mulch company, like they'll be down for.
Yeah, I have faith that we can secure mulch pretty
Okay.
easily.
Good.
So is that a local mulch company?
Yeah, it used to be us. It used to
Okay.
be Urban Forestry, but.
They broke off. I'll look at the mulch.
Thank you for clarifying that with me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't know, it's okay, no, I always thought that it would just, I knew it was, I didn't know that y'all had separate, I did not know that. Thank you for clarifying that.
You used to go and still get like pick up your own good truckload of.
I don't know if they do that anymore. I think, through haul or yard work, like, right?
Yeah.
Not yard works,
Earthwork.
Athens works.
Oh.
So is it
No, it's
mostly
not
wood
worse, but I
chips
think
or?
we do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like the
They have those.
pickup, yeah.
Here, actually, you know what, let me just read this, to you guys, what she said, because it's brief. She said, overall, I think the school district has done a very good job of maintaining the trees planted, with the grant since they were added in 2006, including the seedling of the tree that owns itself. There are maybe 4 to 5 dead, dying ones around the site that need to be removed, probably a job for school district personnel, and some tree seedlings in abandoned flower pots that could be planted. I think Amanda's Garden Club could handle the replanting. But all of the trees need mulching. And then she asked if we could do it for MLK Day. A few large trees added to shade the older children's play equipment could also be a project done at that time or for Arbor Day. And then she's talking about needing principal buy-in. So, maybe not for MLK Day since we already have that planned, but if for some reason we can't get the planned event for Arbor Day going, or we want to do a future event or work, just a work day. Excuse me. That might be an option.
Sometime in the winter, just during the cold, cool weather would be a good time to get it done if we can.
Or perhaps they could, the school or, Maureen in conjunction with the school could plan their own day and then we could support it, and come out and help.
An
Oh,
educational day for the kids.
Mhm.
The Arbor Day thing we were gonna do that in the Georgia Arbor Day, right?
The local Athens.
So we
Arbor Day,
could
yeah.
do the other one, the school thing on like the actual Arbor Day.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Do you know what date that is?
April sometime,
Sometime
yeah.
in April.
That would give us time between,
So,
events, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to make it official and say that we're gonna do that?
Yeah, because February 17th is the Arbor Day.
Right. Make a commitment? And then we could make it like a school-wide event where, we get the kids to come out and help us.
If we can pick a time so that the kids are on campus already, is that what you're?
so
during school hours.
It's, actual Arbor Day is Friday, April 28th,
Yeah, we'll be
Um,
in session.
and they won't be in spring, but I'll be after spring break, so they will, yeah. They might be in final, would they be like doing like testing, end of the year testing or something, would that, they might not?
We probably need to limit it to particular students, so maybe like her
Science
arts
class or
club
something
or a
like that.
science class, but we could work out those details with the teacher at the school.
And we bring the tools and wheelbarrows or carts or whatever.
Right, and the mulch,
With them.
yeah,
Mhm.
I feel pretty confident we can get mulch pretty easily, so,
That'd be great.
yeah, I think that's a great, and that gives us an opportunity to talk to the kids about, tree care and what the council does.
That's April what date?
28.
28.
Is it that late, no?
That's much better for mulching than for planting.
Right.
It's always the last Friday in April. I know that. That's not Easter, Good Friday, is it, by chance?
I'm Googling up the Clarke County school schedule right now.
If we are gonna do the event at, Picture Comforts, we probably should start planning soon, so I'll talk to Sarah and see if we can get that ball rolling. Yet to see her in person at one of the meetings, the actual meeting.
Right. Is that what we were thinking for the February
Mhm.
17th? Okay.
Yeah,
What's the, do we have an alternate idea, for all the tree seedlings, that if we don't do that, are we gonna?
for MLK Day?
Yep, yep. I thought you were getting a lot of seedlings for,
Oh, right. Yes, I do not have an alternate idea, because I'm really hoping that this Creature Comforts event will actually happen. But, yeah. Perhaps if they actually have the Green Light Festival, and actually they're making plans for the awards. That just sparked my memory. I'm supposed to talk to you guys about that too.
Do we need to come up with awards?
They are asking if we have award nominations for this year's Green Light Festival. So if, if you guys have suggestions for people for the Green Life Awards, now is the time to start thinking about that. Last year we did the Weed Warriors and
Walter,
Some business.
Walt Cook.
yeah, Walter, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's kind of we can make up we can make the, coolest Athenian by the council award. It doesn't have to be like, it can be a business, because the year before we did Bowringer, as well as something else.
It was, Silas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Does anybody have any businesses or individuals or groups that they think are deserving of an award from the council?
Is that something we could put, like, could we like, put it on like our website or LinkedIn or, not LinkedIn, but Instagram, let's say, hey, we're looking for people to nominate for Green Life Awards, is that something to people?
We could, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I think it's entirely up to us, like what kind of award. We would need to call it, the Tree Council something award. Or, Tree Steward Award, I guess, would be the easiest designation.
Yeah, go get Mary, she knows everybody.
Well, we can table that for now. I think we have a little bit of time. And if I call my emergency meeting, we can discuss.
Because you have the power.
When do they need to nominate by?
Let me,
That was like a summertime thing, we didn't do that in the September or something, or was it?
It was warm. It was the one time, that chair from.
Actually, I think it was in June of this year, I think maybe. But
So-
flies.
Stacy Smith says The State Botanical Garden Authority has agreed to donate space for the Green Life Awards. We expect the awards will look like they traditionally have, with a 6 to 8 p.m. award time followed by a reception with light food, drinks, and the rest TBA. Expect a ceremony and some sort of reception on April 20th from 6 to 8 p.m.
Are they gonna have tables from displays?
This is really all of the information that she provided. So she basically said, start your planning for your award process so that you'll be ready in April. So we have some time to think about it. So you know, use the next couple months to pay attention to people in the community that may be award worthy.
There's one guy I see every day on the corner of like Lex, Barnett Shoals and like Whit Davis Road. He's feeling like a white jumpsuit, always working in his yard every day. I don't know what he's doing, but I gotta find his information because he definitely gets the award. I mean, I don't know if he's like doing work in the right of way, but yeah, he's always covered in mud, but he's definitely doing something green.
Well, I would do some more research, Patrick.
I mean, there's Jerry Bowden was a member of the council for like 25 years. But she wasn't the only one.
And her husband passed away.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
Boy, she planted I think she got every extra seedling planted it in her yard.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees in that yard.
At the, the tree fair.
Yeah.
Like, what was left over, I think she took everyone.
She's the one that recruited me and Pam to
Yeah.
be on the trip.
Really? When she quit, she.
Or Badger, not recruited.
You were voluntold.
Exactly.
Does anybody else have anything that they would like to discuss? Okay, so the way that I see it, we have to vote on
We have to find the treasurer's report.
approving the treasurer's report, technically approving the minutes from last meeting.
No.
Approving Phil and Pam's
Renewal.
renewal
Request for those.
and
And one thing that is on my lists of things in November, our November meeting, moving into 2023, Patrick, you are the president-elect to move forward with. So we are going to need another president-elect. Replace him for 2023.
we're supposed to vote on that this meeting.
Supposed to, but we can stretch it out since we don't have everyone here. I think this is going to be a special email and posting on to, including with our minutes.
Okay.
That we're going to have these, that we can finalize that at the December meeting. Secretary remains within the ACC staff. And then Pam, are you going to stay in on us? So I'll work.
So,
I
And
like the treasurer.
you like to do that?
It's not much work. I mean, it was a lot more, it was much more work when we did the tree fair. Because I had, then it was all the,
then you have to sort all that out.
that, and the auction and everything. That was more.
So we will just need a president-elect, and I'll get with you on it, put together special minutes and notice to go out with all that.
Okay. How do we go about do we just ask for volunteers?
That's how it's always been in the
And then
past.
as the president, I can say, since there's no volunteers, then I nominate,
You don't get to volunteer anybody. Unless you want to call to get a special forum.
I got voluntold that I would do this.
not
So I
volunteers.
feel like I have to pass it along.
Yes, you could.
Problem with that is kind of like the liaison to the commission, you don't have a stick to beat people with, so you really need somebody that wants to do it.
Yes, very true. Okay, well, yeah, maybe we can just have this like I said, before the holiday party and
The mini meeting.
the mini meeting. And people are more likely to come to the holiday party, right? I would think.
But bugging people in some kind of communication ahead of time
Sure.
to be thinking about.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
Really
I
good.
think we should nominate people who are here tonight.
ooh, there you go. It's your first official duty.
So,
If they're not here, then do you want them to be present?
Yeah.
then the final thing to vote on would be to, hold a Arbor Day, a nationwide Arbor Day event on April
April
28th.
28th.
Do we need pending approval of the school or
Yes.
something like that?
In coordination with Gaines Elementary, that should give us plenty of time to do that. Gaines Elementary and, Maureen, hoping she'll. And I'll reach back out to her and let her know that. I do that as soon as the vote comes through.
Money goes grab and hurry right past to see if she can finalize on these.
Video program did you use to edit your
Oh, iMovie.
iMovie?
Yeah,
Is that on your iPhone, iMovie?
I
Okay.
use it on, it's easy on the iPad, it's bigger, but, you can do it.
But I don't want to try to make a movie, put it like, put together with, so you can do it on your phone. Try that.
Messengers, there's some gentleman in there talking, I don't know who he is.
It's not heated yet.
Ooh, are we gonna, what you're doing,
Yeah.
your barbecue this year, your famous barbecue?
They're still arguing over that,
They're worse than we are.
Oh, no, way worse.
So.
I love you
first
guys.
order of business is, I would like
I got it.
to make a motion to, renew Pam's, designation on the council for one more year.
One more term.
One more term, for one more term. So I'll make that motion. Do I have a second? Mary seconds, all in favor?
Yeah.
Do you want to do me while you're at it?
We'll do you two.
Okay.
The way you felt.
And I would also like to make a motion that we accept Phil's designation on the council for another term. Seconds, all in favor?
And Lauren, yours is on there too, isn't it?
I think we already voted for her. and
Oh,
all
yeah.
the-
You got yours not on there?
We did, yeah, mine was
Yours
just
is
a
not.
1 year.
Gotcha, okay.
But didn't we vote already?
We did.
I just wanna make sure I don't want to miss anything.
Somebody else.
Yeah, I hedged.
Right.
Okay. So
I don't know why I
those are the only
couldn't
two that we have on there.
And then I would like to make a motion that we accept Mary for another year.
I would do a term, and then, if we find a forester.
term?
Yeah, I'm gonna commit to a term, find a forester, I may, back myself out of it.
Oh, you're committed now. I would like to.
So
Mary's-
being
Just wait.
She's got others.
I make a motion to accept.
Seems down to do it for a year because.
All in favor?
No.
Then very briefly, we agreed to, but we have to vote on, this, the nationwide Arbor Day is on April 28th. And we've been asked to help with spreading mulch at Gaines Elementary for the trees that were planted as part of the Georgia Forestry Grant. And they just need some love. So we thought it'd be a great idea to, as a way to, get into one of the schools and work with, we haven't worked out details yet, but just as the first step, just agreeing to go and do that for that Arbor Day, in addition to our other Arbor Day for the Georgia Arbor Day. So we need to vote to make that as an official tree council event. That we plan a work day at Gaines Elementary for April 28th, the National Arbor Day.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Uh,
And were those all of
Approve the treasurer.
Oh, the treasurer's report in the minutes. So I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report, which was emailed out earlier. So second,
I'll second.
all in favor? And then I also make a motion to approve the minutes from October's meeting.
Okay.
All in favor? Awesome, we are.
Thank you.
We have to, don't we have to have a form to close too, or?
Okay, and I will have these out before the end of this week, because I am out all next week, so I just want to get this done.
And then I'll send out an email later this week as well about the holiday party and then also green light nominations so that we can all be thinking about. And the president.
Yeah, we talked about like what we should bring.
I'll include that in my email.
It's usually just a public kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't want people to get tired of eating it once a year. Smoke a couple of butts.
Okay.
So what, like, did I miss the explanation?
Oh.
Cancer screening.
Yeah. World.